Hi everyone, today we want to showcase the supplier case resolution scenario. With this capability, we try to make sure that the requesters have the ability to either accept or reject the resolution of a case they have been raising. It's important to note that this feature is not available out of the box at this moment, and therefore this is something that we have configured for some of our customers. The main problem statements that we try to solve with this capability are for the requesters to have a mechanism that allow them to review and validate the resolution of their cases before they can be closed, so that they can be certain about if their issues have been fully addressed before the closure of that case, and avoiding this sometimes dissatisfaction and reduced trust in the process. On the other hand, the fulfillers don't have the ability to move the cases to an intermediate stage, like review for acceptance, so that sometimes they feel some pains having a lot of different cases being reopened once and again because they cannot get that feedback from the requester to know if the case has been successfully addressed or not. Let's see it in action. So in this screen, I'm gonna open the supplier collaboration portal, impersonating one of the suppliers that can raise a request. So we are going to raise a general inquiry, and let's try to ask as a supplier from some support for the specific company. I'm going to type something quite generic. I would like to get access to our non-disclosure agreement, and then we can submit this query from the supplier to our specific ServiceNow customer. On the other screen, we can see, well, right now from the supplier portal, the supplier itself gets the supply case number so that they can track the specific progress and resolution of this supply case. If we go to the other screen, in here we can see the source to pay workspace, which is already open with the list page. If I refresh this list, we will be able to see how this supply case has been just created in the source to pay workspace, and by using the assignment rules, it has been automatically assigned to me. Okay, let's open this case and let's try to resolve it. So as you can see right now, the first step, the state is in a status open. So for us to be able to complete this, we should be able to move it to work in progress. Here, the agent, in this case, me, who is the person assigned to this case, can review all the details submitted by the requester. Once everything is clear, I get the ticket assigned, the case assigned, and then I can set it up to work in progress. And in the moment we start working on that case, and before we are able to close it automatically, the out-of-the-box version shows here a different UI action, a different button which talks about completing the case. We have replaced that out-of-the-box UI action or button with this resolve case instead. So we have that intermediate state in which when we click on the resolve case, okay, in this case, we need to ask for the close notes, and it's mandatory. So I will, this NDA has been sent via email, for example, and once we have all the details, we are able to resolve the case. Once the case is resolved, as you can see, instead of going directly to the close completed state, we have this intermediate resolved state, which is what we are talking about. How suppliers can accept or reject the resolution of this case. As you can see here, the system has automatically created a new supplier task for the specific requester to accept the resolution for this case. In this case, we have created a specific action type, which is named case resolution. And now the requester is able to either accept or reject. If I switch my screen again to the specific supplier's portal view, here in the tasks, as you can see, there has been a new task generated for that specific supplier case. There is one task assigned to the requester, accept resolution for supplier case, and we have two options in here. We have the statement to give the proper context to the supplier about what this task is for, By completing this task, you are accepting the resolution of this case and it will be automatically closed. Otherwise, please provide a reason for reopening the case. So if the user or the requester in this case chooses to reopen the case, there is a prompt message asking for reopening the case, for a reason for reopening the case, which should be appearing here. Things like I didn't resolve my issue, so that the agent has the proper context about why the resolution hasn't been accepted. Otherwise, they can just simply accept the resolution of the case. And once we do that, the task is automatically closed as completed, as well as the case. So if we switch back again our screen to the main supplier case, we will see that the system has automatically changed the state to close completed, and now the case has been closed by including the acceptance from the requester. More details to share today. Not all the case types might be good candidates for this feature. General inquiries, support requests, and all these kind of case types are good candidates. However, there are some other processes in which we will not require the involvement of the requester. For example, supply onboarding or similar supply management capabilities or operations, in which it's more a kind of internal process that can be or that can skip that final interaction or acceptance. In addition, it's important to note that this is just one solution. There may be multiple options to be implemented, but in this one, the idea is to try to simplify the process and minimize the impact based on the existing out-of-the-box feature. As you know, we could try to think about different features, but at the end, supplier task is something that we have available out of the box, and it's a very good mechanism to make sure that the requester can either accept or reject. Finally, if you are interested in knowing how you can implement this feature in your ServiceNow instance, I also created this article in the community that you can access and read all the specific technical details about how to do it. Here you can see all the process that needs to be, or all the code that needs to be implemented in the system to make sure that this works as expected. So I hope you like this video and that you find it useful. Thank you so much.